Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys all doing tonight? Happy Monday to everybody. I'm feeling a little bit better than last Monday, which is good. Not that I'm working any less, but it's definitely been, it was a good weekend, getting a lot of stuff done where I can actually start seeing the light at the end of the tunnel with work and everything. But I was given some time and had been reading up on some things, so I did have some topics to talk about tonight. We will be talking a little bit about Flux. I'll be talking about the Inflation Reduction Act, specifically how it can affect miners and what they can use within that act to help save money. And we'll talk about that. There's some fine details, and I'm still looking through the fine details of it, and more I'm sure will come out. But there's some very interesting things in here that could really, really help us out. And then lastly, what was my last? Oh, then talk a little bit about the economy. Some conversations I've had and things I've seen where I work and why I think that if we do head towards a recession, I don't think it's going to be all that big a one. Just my humble opinion. But we'll talk a little bit about that. But before I go ahead and do that, this video or this live stream is brought to you by Helium Miners and their Flux pool, where until the end of September, there are absolutely no mining fees or parallel asset fees. On top of that, your parallel assets go instantly into your payable balance with each unlocked block. But wait, there's more. Helium Miners is giving away 500 Flux to a lucky winner. So now is a great time to try mining Flux at Helium Miners. Details of the giveaway are in the description. Due to the nature of Flux, a complete 0% fee results in 13% more earnings when compared with other popular Flux pools. You can check them out at flux.heliumminers.com. Alrighty, hope you enjoyed that little ad. Anyway, I had some fun with it, that's for sure. Actually, before we get to that, let me take a look at the market. That's pretty nice. ETH almost up to 1,800. I literally haven't been looking at the market at all recently. So that was kind of a nice surprise. Maybe it was above 1,800 for a while today. Have no idea. Like I said, I just looked at it before the stream. So definitely nice to see some green, especially since the stock market was slightly down today. It wasn't a huge drop or anything, but it's nice to see that it's not following the general market trends. So that's a good thing. Actually, before I go any further, I gotta bop out the chat so I can actually see what you guys are saying. Give me a second. Pop out chat. Go to live chat, as my sunflower mama said. Make sure you go to live chat. But anyway, let's do some shout outs here. Scroll back to the top. Canadian Miner was first. Hey. Sunflower Mama, of course, is here. Paddywhack Miner. New England Crypto. Hobbyist Miner. Let's see. Great Baldini, thank you for being here. One of my mods. Automatic Beats. Crypto Tito, thank you for being here and thank you for being a member. Appreciate it. Wealth Talks Veteran Miner. Integra Guy, thank you for being a member. Let's see here. Murky Solution. ABM&S Production. Let's see. Mad Dog Miner. Ryland Tech and Crypto. Odin's Tech and Mining. T-Gig. Gandalf Gray, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Boinker139, thank you for being here and being a member. The Maker's Dimension. And I think that is everybody. So again, thank you guys for being here. I do appreciate it. Anyway, market's doing well. That's good to see. So let's kind of dive right into kind of we'll go into the one that is just kind of a little bit of news. Hey, and Hawk is here and Big Wooly. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. Anyway, and if you anywhere along the way you guys have a question or a comment that you want me to specifically read, please do not be shy in tagging me. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about Flux first. A little bit of announcement from them. They actually announced not a replacement, but they decided to delay their Cosmos parallel asset, Atom, basically, and decided to move Ergo into their position. So October 25th, there's going to be a parallel asset distribution on October 25th. Now, my understanding is this is taking the place of Cosmos in the line, so therefore the previous snapshot will still apply. So if it was May 5th, I think was the date for the snapshot. So whatever you had back then is what your parallel asset distribution is going to be based upon. And plus, of course, everything you have mined up to that point. So anyway, a little bit of news there. I was watching Son of a Tech's video. Definitely a very good video. Definitely recommend going to check that out. There was certainly some give and take there. I enjoy the way Son of a Tech does his interviews. He challenges his people that he interviews. So anyway, definitely a good conversation between him and Dan Keller. So go check it out. So anyway, there's that. And obviously there is a giveaway for Hero Miners. And I did start mining 2 Hero Miners. And I do like Hero Miners. I've mined Hero Miners before. I'm trying to remember which coin I was mining, but have always enjoyed them and like their interface and such. But anyway, when I found out that they actually pay out parallel assets with every one block, every time they win a block, they pay you not just the Flux, but also the parallel asset, as opposed to accumulating it for a week and then paying you. Not that that's a horrible thing or anything, but I'd rather get paid out, when I get everything. I don't want to have a separate payout for my parallel assets. So anyway, I think that's pretty cool. And of course, no mining fees through the end of September. So that's kind of nice as well. But yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised at the return. Certainly seems to be making more, for me at least, making more than what to mine was predicting with my 3070. So yeah, might move more over, might not. I haven't really decided. This was something I tried over the last few days and have done well. So your mileage may vary. So anyway, but that's a little bit of news with Flux. And but let's go into the more exciting things, and this is what I've really been kind of jazzed about, which is the Inflation Reduction Act. But what does it mean for like the green energy provisions? That's what everybody's talking about. And I am not being political about whether this is a good or a bad thing. Every bill passed is going to benefit some people and not benefit others. What I'm talking about is, how can we take advantage of something that has passed? So that's all I'm talking about, is how can we take advantage of this? Okay. So one of the things that has gone into the provision is solar energy. Those rebates were going down. They went back up to 30% through 2030, the end of 2031, I believe. So that was kind of like oh, sure, that's an easy one to do, I guess. But considering the cost of solar has been coming down, and the whole idea of why the tax credits were supposed to come down was because the cost was coming down, and it has been. Now with the rebates going back up, it makes it a little bit more financially feasible with those higher rebates. But there's a lot of other things other than this when it comes to powering your home. One of the things is that it will also provide, where is it? Hang on a second. This is all about heat pumps, but this was what I found really interesting, was they were talking about a solar battery system. And as long as you put in over a 3 kilowatt hour battery, 3,000 kilowatt hour battery, isn't that what it was? Or was it a 3 kilowatt? 3 kilowatt hour battery seems, hang on a second. Now I want to get what it says. Where was it? Sorry, I was reading this right beforehand. 20,000. Yeah, I can talk to you about that, but other programs. Shoot. Dang it. All right, it's got to be up higher. Oh, thank you, Hawk. I appreciate it. Now, the question is, if I was on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, or Friday, would I still be your favorite? That's what I want to know. Just kidding, Hawk. Thanks for the $10 super chat. I very much appreciate it. I saw that. Is that like the nope rope? Anyway. Anyway. Shoot. There was a thing about the batteries. Where was it? It's up here somewhere. This was another thing I found really interesting. I'll find it. But this was really interesting. Many homes will need their electrical panels upgraded before getting new appliances, and the program offers up to a $4,000 rebate towards that initial step. Yeah, I need a new circuit panel to go to 200 amps. Sure, I'll put in a heat pump water heater. That's what I'll do. Just that. Just so I have the excuse that I can upgrade my panel and upgrade my electricity to 200 amp service. So anyway, I thought that was pretty interesting because we could totally take advantage of that. Again, I haven't read the details, but I'm looking at all this going, wow, that could be really well. There's also a thing in here about rewiring your home. You can get a tax credit for rewiring your home. Thanks, Goblin Dude, for the tax credit. So I was really, really excited about that. And then, like I said, there's another thing in here about blah blah blah. There's a thing in here about batteries, and there's a tax credit for batteries. So there's the $4,000 for that. And he's talking about just in general can save a ton of money. 30,000 after 10 years, 140,000 after 25 years. And shoot, where was it? It's really bugging me. I gotta find this. This is all about heat pumps. I don't want the thing about heat pumps. And what about solar? Oh, home battery storage also qualifies. There's a thing. Here it is. What's more, homeowners who install solar battery systems with at least 3 kilowatt hours of capacity would also qualify for the tax credit. So 30% off of your solar batteries. I don't know about you, but that gets me excited. That gets me very excited. So my wife's over here rolling her eyes like, oh, I thought we were just building a shed. Oh, no. No. Anyway. So anyway, yes, hobbyist, yes. Where do I sign up? Hell yeah. Hells to the yeah. So for all you guys that, let me see, because I'm going to be putting a circuit panel in the shed. I don't know. I got to figure out how do I best take advantage of this program. But again, can't tell you how excited I am about taking advantage of this hopefully next year and being able to be, you're never going to be completely off the grid if you have a decent size farm. There's just really, really no way, unless of course you got gobs and gobs of land, like the Voss coin video where he went out to this guy and he's just got these enormous solar panels. Yes, okay. You have that, then maybe you can become, don't even have to be grid tied at that point. But for the rest of us, in reality, we can lower the cost of our electricity dramatically, especially the viability of solar right now with the increase in electric rates and the decreasing cost of solar. And, now you've got the not only decreasing cost of solar, but now you have the increasing federal tax dollars. Yeah, this is a very, very good thing for us that, trying to, be able to mine at minimal cost. So, and rewiring credits, circuit panel credits, basically I could get the rewiring thing and rewire one thing for electric car. If I got an electric car, put that in the garage and then, I got to rewire other things. So I'll just throw that all into a single quote. Anyway, not financial advice, not tax advice, but just food for thought. So I don't know. I just think that is very, very interesting. It's something I'm excited about. It's one of those things people can say, okay, it's handouts from the government. This isn't what what this was designed to do and whatever. It's one of those things. I am not making judgment on it. You can say it's bad. It's going to drive up the inflation rate because it's putting money back into the economy, too much money. Like I said, you can have arguments both ways, but point being is that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying this program now exists. Make as best use of it, whether you agree with it or not. It's kind of like Social Security. When you retire, are you not going to take Social Security because you never agreed with it in the first place? That we should have never have had it. We should have canceled it years ago because it's been a drain on the federal government. Well, of course not. You're going to take it because it's offered. You qualify for it. You know, I don't know. I was going to say you have a right to it, but it's not that you have a right to it. It's that you qualify for it. So anyway, point being. Okay. Thanks, Chum Change. I appreciate it.
Gandalf Gray asked, how do the credits work? Do they pay you the money?
Okay, so anyway, any type of tax credit, they don't. I shouldn't say this. I'm generalizing it, but generally, so certain tax credits, yeah, they will pay you. Like if you have certain like welfare type of tax credits, yeah, they're starting to pay people monthly. That's not this. This is tax credits when you file your taxes. So for example, my solar energy tax credits, because I had a daughter in college, I had significant tax credits because she was in college. I wasn't able to use all of my solar tax credits in the first year. In fact, they strung out 4 years before I was able to take them all. So you get these tax credits and you use them up basically so that you're not paying any taxes. And if you have some left over after doing so, then they go over to the next year. So no, they're not paying you that money up front. You eventually get that money on your taxes when you file at the end of the year. So for example, with my solar system, what I ended up doing was I paid about 5% more. Anytime you do financing, there's a cost. Okay. So I was working through my solar provider and I learned a lot about the financing and how it worked. Anytime somebody says, hey, this is the cost of your system and it's only 2%. And you're like, oh, wow, that's so cheap. Well, no, they jacked up the price of your system in order to take into account the amount of money that they're having to help pay down that interest rate. Okay. So in this particular case, I decided to do 18 months free financing. If I didn't pay it off in those 18 months, then I'd be paying like some exorbitant rate, all the accumulated whatever. But I knew I was going to pay it off in 18 months, that if I had any money that I needed to come up with at the end of those 18 months, that I would just get like a small home equity loan or some other type of small loan that would be at a much lower rate. Anyway, so that's what I did. But it gave me time to get some tax credits as well as getting all of the solar renewable energy credits. So that, that was all being paid out to me. 4 years worth of, actually 15 years worth of solar renewable energy credits, SRECs, were paid out all in one lump sum. Now, it was dangerously close to that 18 months that I ended up, getting that credit, but I got the credit and was able to apply it against the loan, and I paid it off before the 18 months were up. So anyway, just some creative financing that I did. And so if you don't have the money, it is worth looking into and being creative and how at the end of the day that you're going to pay for it. So anyway,
Gandalf Gray is not doesn't need Social Security on his crypto.
Yeah, your crypto Lambo yacht. Don't forget to include the Lambo part. Gandalf Gray. Anyway, all right, let me see some of the comments. I've been lacking on the comments.
So sorry to break the mood here, but any update on the GOELRI? Did it happen yet?
The what?
GOELRI.
Oh, Gorley. Oh, okay, sorry. I was like, sorry, my wife was reading the comments because I guess I'm a slow reader. Anyway, so any update on Gorley? No, I don't know, but I think it would have like blew up Twitter if something didn't go right. I don't know if it actually has gone live yet. It was supposed to be from the 6th through the 12th, so I don't think it's quite gone live yet. I think it's going to be closer to the 12th when it goes live. So I don't know. Anybody else here if Gorley actually went live? I mean, I follow Tim Biko. He's like one of the people that absolutely comes up on my phone every time he tweets, and I have not seen anything come up. Now, again, I haven't been watching it as closely because I've been working so much, but I haven't seen it. And my lovely friend from Venezuela, Ildemaro Oseches, the one I love to say his name. Anyway, welcome. Good to see you. Slick Nick 87, good to see you. Sorry if I missed anybody else. I just saw those guys pop up. Oh, and DM Mining, thank you for showing up. Travelers Travels. So anyway, I am super excited about this. Super excited. Like I said, I'm like, okay, how big of a shed can I build? And it's got to have a south-facing roof. So we have to figure out exactly which way is south. Our lot is not facing north-south or anything. So I'm going to have to figure out exactly where to put it. Make sure it's not shaded by the tree. Yeah. My wife's over there going, no, we already know where it's going. She already gave me a look. That's right. We'll just put the, we'll do what my sister was going to do. We'll build like the solar panels on stilts, and we'll make like a gazebo like of solar panels. That's what we'll do. That's it. That's what we'll do. Alrighty. Anyway, all right, let me go back and see what comments I missed. Let's see. I think it is more good things for manufacturers since the incentive here is in some way to sell more hardware. Yes, there is something to be said for that, because they're going to try to sell you at the highest price they can. And they will then come to you and say, hey, it's not going to cost you anything, because the solar provided is going to be the same amount as you would have been paying. So basically, they'll sell you a loan that is, say, $100 a month, but your electricity is, say, $120 a month. See, hey, we're saving you $20 a month. And so basically, each and every month, you're going to be able to pocket $20 in your pocket. But they won't look at the big picture like, yeah, they're selling you a system that's maybe not the most efficient and way more expensive than what needs to be but they can say that by extending out your loan. So anyway, it's things to be cautious of. But yes, this program absolutely will be abused, no question, by people that sell the solar hardware. No question. Hobby's Mounted Social Security will be dried up by the time I can use it. Let's be honest. Yeah, that hobbyists, they've been saying that for years, but they always find a way to extend it. I mean, it was supposed to be dead by now. Mid 2020s. Supposed to be dead. I don't hear it. It's the third rail. Nobody's going to let it die. Nobody's going to let it die. So anyway, I mean, heck, our government just keeps printing money, so why not? Anyway, Gandalf. Oh yeah, you already said the crypto yacht. Let's see here. Join the Shed Club. Yes, that is the plan. It's the tentative plan right now. Now I just need to find, what were those people? What were those types of people? I can't think of the name of I can't think of the people that build wood products. Anyway, and now Amish. And now I just need to find some Amish people around here in Illinois. I haven't found any yet. So anyway, ABMNS Production says, my phone is definitely broken and never advertises people I actually follow. Always people I never heard of before. Got it. Alrighty. Amish, yeah, you just said that. And my wife just said the same thing. Gandalf Grace says, what company are you going to use for your panel install? Or are you going to do it yourself? I will not be doing it myself, most likely. I don't know who I'm going to use. I was pretty happy with my past company, but I know based upon now I've learned a lot of things since I put that system in. Let's put it that way. I did shop around. I did get a good deal when compared to the companies that I did, but back at that time, think of it this way. If you can sell your house without a realtor, would you sell your house without a realtor? Most people would say yes. Why would I pay 5-7% to have somebody sell my house when I could do it myself and, save that amount of money? It's kind of the same thing with solar. There's basically usually a lot of times there's a solar sales company that then subcontracts the work to electric companies or solar install companies. So it's like a sales team. Well, that sales team makes their money through referrals, and those referrals have money associated with them. So, and those salespeople make a lot of money. So, yes, it's a sales model that works. It's a sales model that's great for people that aren't familiar with solar. But if you're familiar with solar, then you can probably work with a company that is a little bit more hands-off, where you're going to say, this is what I want. All I need you to do is design the system. And then break it down for me, do the piece parts, whatever, all of that. So anyway, I'm going to be looking for more of that type of company and then comparing it to the company that I used before. Because like I said, it did like them. So anyway, we'll see. Red Panda, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. So what is that? That $13.99 in Canadian is like $1 in US. I'm just kidding. Thank you so much for the super chat. $10 and what? 88 cents. Did you just do the math?
No, it's right there.
It doesn't say it on my screen. Anyway, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Max, hi, how are you? I got my E9 in, but the box arrived massively damaged with DHL repack tape all over and metal broken sounds. Oh, with just shaking it a little. LMAO, I'm driving, so can't type. Oh, wow. That sucks. That really sucks. Okay, first of all, stop watching my video while you're driving. I don't want to have to pay for your ticket. I would like you to be able to continue driving. Dude, at least shut off the screen. Man, killing me, Red. Killing me. Anyway, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Good to see you here. Oh, yeah, I guess I wasn't really using it. Well, let's switch over to the other thing. Anyway, I was looking at a couple different articles for the clean energy. So again, they're all talking about basically electrifying the home, the entire home. So many people in the country have natural gas for some of their appliances, whether it be their furnace, their hot water heater. Like for us, we have natural gas for our furnace, hot water heater, and funny thing. There are certain things that trigger people. That one does not trigger me, but that triggers my boss. Hot water heater. It's not a hot water heater because that would be wasteful. Why would you heat water? Why would you heat hot water? It's a water heater. Anyway, that'd be something I would normally say, but no, he's the one who said it. Anyway, but hot water heater as well as the range, the stovetop, basically. So, hey, 3 Fox Co, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Screen is shut off now. Good. Glad to hear it. Smart move. Anyway. Sorry, I just totally lost my train of thought. But anyway, so yeah, they're talking about electrifying the home and being able to save money by doing that. Now, the other thing I'm really excited about, why I'm excited about the solar battery credit, is ever since CryptoShape told me that he had his battery system and that he charged his batteries at night from the grid when electric prices were low, and then use that low energy price to use it when energy prices were higher. I have been so intrigued about doing that. So excited about that. By the way, in fact, let me bring this up. This was energy prices today. It was crazy. Look at that. It went from 2 hours before from 21.7 down to 4.8 cents. Anybody gather to guess what happened in that period of time? Cold front. So we went from massively humid in like the mid 80s to 70 degrees, much drier. Yeah. And all of a sudden, the electric companies are having to generate all this energy to meet that demand. And all of a sudden the demand falls like a rock. So guess what? So does the actual cost of electricity. So anyway, in fact, actually, from 6 to 7 p.m., it was 2.8 cents. Yes. Loving it. Loving it. So anyway, but I want to be able to take more advantage of this program. Like I said, especially, as we go into this new normal, it's going to be even more important to lower your energy costs. All right. So T-Gig says, today I found some of your old Argon woes on Flux Discord. I now have issues with the case not recognizing a free flash of 20.04 LTS server OEM charger. Any ideas? Do you have the... Okay, so do you have the regular Argon, or do you have the Argon with the M.2 SSD? In the actual case, which one do you have? S. Chang, I do not have a smart electrical panel. I do not. I have thought about doing that, but I have not done that yet. Yeah, my wife loves it when it's hot out. She absolutely loves it. Yes, M.2 in case. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't have any problems with the M.2. What I had problems with was the regular SSD, and somebody had suggested that it was a Kingston issue, but ever since then it's been fine. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you on that, unfortunately. I'd have to delve into it to really see. Every problem issue that I have found with nodes, Flux nodes, has been unique. Right, Hawk, if you're still here. Anyway, alrighty. Well, that was what I plan to talk about there. So definitely super excited about that, and really gonna hopefully get you guys some more details on that as time goes, as more and more information comes out. There's actually a really good article. I don't subscribe to the Wall Street Journal, but it sounds like a really great article, because it said something to the effect of, this new bill is going to be great for the serial remodeler. So if you remodeled and you improve things, doesn't mean you don't qualify for these things. So you could do it again. Like we have I think a 7-year-old, 5 to 7-year-old furnace. So I'm still thinking that's pretty recent. It works great. It's a high efficiency furnace, but maybe one of these heat pumps with a backup furnace would be interesting, because heat pumps only go down to about 5 degrees Fahrenheit. And where I live, it can go down to -10 to -20. So I particularly don't want my pipes to freeze when it gets that cold out. So in those types of areas, you can get a heat pump with like a backup furnace where it supports the heat pump, because the heat pump isn't as efficient down in those temperatures. So anyway, DM Mining, you say you have a heat pump. Cool. Yeah, there's going to be, and then they have what are called cold climate heat pumps now. So those are the ones that go down to 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, I know. I was just about ready to read that. Do you have DC3S? Do you have any other nodes besides Flux? Also, does the Cumulus node give you the same amount of Flux every month, or does it vary? Well, let's go with the first one. Do you have any other nodes besides Flux? No, I don't currently. I've been talking about getting a pre-node Now, a pre-node, I'm going to run the pre-node on Flux. So again, using Web3 technology, you're able to run a node on some nodes on the Flux network. You can actually run a Flux master node on the Flux network. So these are some things you can do. So I plan on doing that. I haven't gotten around to it, but it is something I really, really want to do. Anyway, but no, I don't have any other nodes. Also, does the Cumulus node give you the same amount of flux every month, or does it vary? It will vary. What I found interesting was the number of Cumulus nodes actually went down. And you might think, well, why is that? Why did it go down? Well, it's one of two reasons. The first reason could be that, yeah, they threw a whole bunch of changes, and so some nodes went down. One of my two nodes went down recently, and from what I understand, a lot of other people's nodes have gone down. But most of those should be back up. That shouldn't have had an effect. So I don't think it's that. What I think it is that they are starting to enforce the upload speed. So those nodes that are out there, it's if you're not meeting the upload speed, they're finally saying enough's enough, because they have customers. They're trying to attract customers, and they have to enforce those upload speeds in order to provide the services that they are trying to sell. I mean, let's be honest. We're providing a service to them, no different than mining. We're providing a service to them, and how are we being compensated? We're being compensated by them paying us in Flux. In return, they can use our resources to sell Web3 services to whoever may need them. So that's basically how the economy, the Flux economy works, I guess. Ben's 310, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Takeaways and thought about today's Flux interview. Like I said, I really, really enjoyed. It's funny because I was listening to it on the way home, and I got like about 2 blocks from home, and my phone restarted. So I never got back into it, but I did see some of the comments about that Son of a Tech had about setting up not Flux nodes, but regular nodes, standard nodes, in order to be able to mine directly, solo mine directly on Flux. And it was pretty interesting because they talked about, Dan Keller talked about the fact that Flux was really a fork of, in reality, it's a fork of Bitcoin. And yes, they changed some things about it, but yeah, I guess I never really knew that, but they basically said it was a fork of Bitcoin. But anyway, yes, it was interesting. Nothing specific, but anyway, Tane said, "Hey, from Kentucky, thought I would at least say hi before bed." Well, thank you, Tanes. I appreciate that. DJ Mines, how are you? With a custom Flux software, my friend, made to make it easier and quick for people to set up. I don't know what that was in reference to. I said, you ordered 25 Flux nodes. Very cool.
He started a business.
Oh, yeah. I've heard you talk about that. So, yes, very cool. I thought about it, but so I think it's great idea that you're doing that. But I hate it because that means there's going to be more Flux nodes out there, less Flux for me. Knock it off. Stop it. Just kidding. Anyway, all right, well, let's talk a little bit about my last subject, which was the economy. So I'm trying to remember exactly where I was seeing this. It was, okay, now I remember. So, like I said, just because of the source doesn't mean the information's incorrect. Yes, there might be some bias to some of the comments made, but if the information is correct, so anyway, it's the guy on Sunday from HBO, John, I can't think of his name. Anyway, he had a whole thing about inflation and what everybody said was causing it. Everybody has their own thing. It's because John, no, not John Stossel. That's a totally different guy. Anyway, the guy on HBO. If anybody thinks of him, his last name, please let me know. He used to be on the Daily Show. John Oliver. Yes, exactly. So I appreciate that. Anyway, again, yes, he is more left leaning, but the information he provided, yes, he had a few left leaning comments in there. That's not what I'm talking about. The information he provided was very, very interesting. And he talked about that the Republicans said the Democrats spent too much money, in Flux, too much money in the economy, when they just got into office. Yep, that contributed. The pandemic things that were passed by the Republicans, that was too much. Yep, that was part of it. The supply chain woes. Yep, that was part of it. There were all these different things, but everybody was trying to blame it on one thing or the other. And what his point was that the economy is complicated. You can't blame it on just one thing. We had the magic shitstorm that was just like the recipe for inflation. So yes, you have a slowing economy. So now you have a government influxing tons and tons of money into the economy, and you have supply chain woes that suck, meaning that you have really, really low supply with tons and tons of money. And the thing he related it to was there were 3 of these frog fountains, and they were the most ridiculous frog fountains you ever saw. Anyway, and he bought all 3 of them. So he's like, these things are going to be worth a ton of money because I have all 3. Anyway, it was a funny little segment of it. But anyway, point being is that you have less stuff to sell and you have more money to buy it with. So that is a recipe for inflation. Well, the thing that's happening right now is, from what I've seen and everything I'm hearing from people in logistics and that type of industry, is that the dam is broken, people. Supply chain is not the same problem it was 6 months ago. It's doing much, much better. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it is much, much better. I mean, there is so much more product on these shores. And the person that I was talking to was a freight forwarder, and he has contacts in companies that liquidators. And he says the liquidators are doing tons and tons of more business right now than they have in an extremely long time, because there is now too much product, because there was this buildup of product. So what did companies do? They're like, well, I can't get what I got, so I got to order more. Well, now all those orders are coming in. We've seen this with GPUs. We've seen what's been happening. Like, oh crap, now I got all this stuff. EVGA laid off about 20% of their workforce. So you have all this product out there that now they can't sell. So the supply side is fixing itself. So that's half of the equation. Now, the money side of it, nothing's really specifically been done about that, but the supply side, at least, has been, seems to be resolving itself, where we're getting back to maybe a new normal, but much more like normal. So inflation from the supply side won't be as affected. As far as the demand side of things, that's where the Fed can have an effect. And that's what the Fed has been doing. They've been hitting us with these really huge interest rate hikes, and probably will continue to keep their foot on the gas, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. They'd be better off at this point to overdo it, because we're this close to getting into an inflationary cycle. Because what happens is inflation lasts long enough that it becomes this never-ending cycle, because it costs you more to buy stuff. Therefore, you need to make more. So your employers need to pay more, and therefore they got to sell their stuff for a higher price, and you get into this cycle. So that's the only danger we're in. The main danger we're in right now is that we're so close to getting into that cycle. If we can stay away from really getting into that cycle and break it early, then I think that we could keep this recession to a very, very short one, as well as keeping that inflation down. We can stay away from the late 70s, the early 80s, the economy that we were in at that point. So we shall see. I haven't been seeing comments. I have not been commenting on them yet, but anyway, that's my thoughts. I'm excited to see where the economy is going to go. I think we're headed in a much better direction. Again, not political. By the way, my belief, the president has almost zero effect. Oh, that's in the way? Oh, okay.
And DC3 asked the question, what's the difference between a cumulus node and a master node? What makes more money?
Okay, I'll talk to that in just a bit. Let me switch to live stream. There we go. So anyway, point being is that I think we're headed to a better place right now. The president has very little effect on the economy other than putting too much money into the economy. I think we're through that segment. You know, we now have at least a few Democrats that are willing to keep the spending under control a little bit. I think that's a good thing. I think, you know, everybody's talking about this bill as a compromise. That tells me that, okay, it's a pretty good bill. Bills need to be compromises. Anyway, all right, I'm getting political. But anyway, bottom line is, I think we're headed to a better place. Yes, the government is spending too much money, but yeah, hopefully we will increase our economy again and not, I mean, could you imagine if interest rates went really, really high with the debt we have? Oh my God, that would be horrid. Horrid. All right, let me, so what's the difference between a Flux node and a master node? I'm not super familiar with a master node, but my understanding is that a master node is providing some type of validation on the network, while Flux nodes themselves are providing compute resources, not validation resources. There are nodes on the Flux network that do provide validation resources, but they're not the Flux nodes that we've been talking about. So hopefully that answers your question. All right, let me scroll up. All right, so it says, do you think a Titan node is as profitable as the Cumulus nodes with the same 1,000 Flux amount? No, I actually did a calculation, and again, it can vary. But right now, I believe the Cumulus node, if you have the hardware, a Cumulus node is more profitable than a Titan node investment. If you're just putting money away, but if you need to buy $200 worth of hardware in order to run a Flux node, it kind of changes the equation a bit. So the return you get on a Titan node is decent, about 7% right now. But the more nodes you get, it changes how much money you make. So again, that goes back to the question that was asked before that I didn't answer, which was, do I make the same amount each month? No. Two reasons why I don't make the same amount each month. One is the amount of Cumulus nodes changes each month. The more nodes, the less Flux you make. The fewer nodes, the more Flux you make. But on the other hand, also, when you're running a Flux node, yeah, you may have your Flux node go down and get sent to the back of the line. So there's that part of it as well. Yeah, Linus Sebastian says, that can't be the Linus Sebastian, but anyway. John Oliver has a show on HBO still. It's great. Last week tonight. Check it out. Yeah, that's exactly. So what I end up doing is on Monday morning on my drive into work at 4:30 a.m., John Oliver's segment from that show is on YouTube, and I always tune into it on the way to work. Sometimes I agree with it, sometimes I don't. But
how does one acquire a Flux node, a Flux validation node?
That I don't know, but I also don't know if there's really any financial gain. If you think about it, a Bitcoin node, you make $0 on. Bitcoin nodes exist. Oh, sorry. The question was, where is it though? Oh, okay. Gordon Murray says, how does one acquire said Flux validation node? I don't know exactly how to create that. Personally, I have not looked into it. Like I said, I heard Son of a Tech talking about it, so I understand kind of what he was relating to. But bottom line is, I don't believe you make any money off of that. I know you don't make any money off of a Bitcoin node. So, all right, let me go back up to that. I answered that question. So yeah, DJ Minds makes a good point. From my understanding, Titan is cool, but then your Flux is locked. Yes, your Flux is locked. You cannot move it. If you have a Cumulus node, you do have full control. You can decide to take your node up or down whenever you feel like it. So yes, you are absolutely correct, DJ Mines. Oh, and thank you to the new subscriber, whoever it is. I did not see it pop up. Oh, Ben's 310. Oh, no, that's the super chat. But anyway, whoever was the subscriber, thank you so much. DC3 says, what's the difference between a Cumulus? Oh, I already answered that question. What makes more money? I don't know, because I haven't looked into a Firo master node in quite some time. So I'm not really sure. S. Chang says, look at the GPU shortage and now abundant supply. That is what economy is experiencing. That's correct. The thing, though, with the GPU shortage, we know, I mean, mining is going to change significantly when Ethereum goes proof of stake. On top of that, crypto has plummeted in value, therefore making it less profitable. So therefore, people aren't out there actively trying to get as many GPUs as they can. So yeah, GPUs is it's like a double whammy on GPUs. Yes, they now have all the GPUs they could possibly want, and the market just finally said, nah, I don't think so. So yeah. Alrighty. Let's see. All right, let me go down. Okay. Yeah, everybody spends too much money. Nothing new. Yep. Let's see. Integra Guy says, I have a Bitcoin node just supporting the project. Also, my Apollo BTC has a built-in node. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely supporting the project. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just simply stating, and there are some advantages to it as well when you're doing Bitcoin transactions, from my understanding, because you have easier access to the Lightning network, I think. I don't know. Savage Mind did a video on this as far as creating the Bitcoin node, and I think he talked a little bit about the advantages of having one. It's been quite a while. Obviously, he passed away over a year ago. But yeah, go check out his video on Bitcoin nodes. Gandalf Gray says, if you get a FutureBit mini ASIC miner, it comes with a BTC node. Oh, interesting. I was not aware. I don't have companies beating down my door asking to send me free ASICs like chump change. Anyway, Bart says, hey Max, finally my first live. Oh, awesome. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Doesn't it, Gordon Murray, doesn't Firo still require 1,000 Firo to run? That's my understanding. Yeah, Tiger Guy. I had a Firo node until it went to $6. Then I sold. Yeah, I think I had like 4 Firo from mining it for, I don't know, half a day or whatever it was. And yeah, I decided I'm going to get rid of it. So yeah, when it was like 580 or something, I sold it. I mean, not like I made a ton, but I was like, it's going to come down. If I want to buy back in, I might as well buy back in with twice as much Flux. Instead of 4, I could get 8. Anyway. So Bart says, what do you think about the Ergo PA on Flux? I think it's great. I think it's a good match. So yeah, I'm definitely excited about it. I think it was a good move. I'm not sure what it means about Cosmos. I just think that, let's just say that Ergo is a much more established crypto than Cosmos. That's my opinion. And I think that's why, one of the reasons why they made the move they did after Solana did what it did, you know, and the whole thing with the previous one, which will remain unnamed. But anyway, Joseph Johnson, thank you for being here. Happen to know if there's a true full unlock for 3060 Ti LHRs? Yeah. I don't know what you mean by a true full unlock, but I mean, you can get full hash rate. Whether it be with T-Rex or NB Miner. So yeah, I mean, they all have full unlock, get the same number of shares as a regular 3060 Ti. I mean, the way that the system works basically is there's a timer in there that basically says once that, I forget exactly how they put it, but that timer, once that timer reaches a certain point, it then, once it's triggered, it then has a timer. And then once it meets that timer, then it starts degrading the hash rate. Well, if you keep resetting a certain setting every single time, even though you're resetting it to the same setting, it resets the timer. That's what they discovered. And there's a certain very specific timing that has to occur in order to make that happen perfectly. But definitely full hash rate, awesome. All right, let's see here. APM&S production. Very nice personification of the crypto market by Max Voltage. Nah, thanks. All righty. So anyway, all right. Well, that was pretty much all I had tonight. Hey, it's actually been. Oh no, I guess I started at 8:15. I thought that hour went like super fast. Who did? Subtly Mining. Okay. How many sun hours a day average to make solar feasible? Northwest PA. Here only 5 hours a day average sun. 5 hours a day. Really? Well, okay. Let's let me bring this up. What is it called? Shoot. Let me do Google Solar, and I'll bring up the screen once I get it up here. Helps if I spell Google right. Project Sunroof. Anyway, let me bring that back up. I think I've shown this before. But Project Sunroof. So basically you can go ahead and search your home and see, it gives you a personalized solar analysis based upon exactly that. How much solar energy on average throughout the year, each month, that type of thing, and figure out how much on average you would be able to generate with a specific solar system. Also, they also will tell you like how big of a solar system they feel like you could put on your roof. So anyway, it's a good place to get started as far as checking out and things like that. Let's see. Oh no, I just joined. Come on, Max Voltage. What did you just join?
It was Mark's first live stream.
Oh, got it. Oh, and I'm already finishing up. Yeah, sorry, man.
So I said that you never stop when you say your stuff.
Well, that's true. I don't say I never stop exactly when I say I'm going to stop. It always seems to go on and on, which I'm sure some of you guys are like, oh man, he's going to continue going. Which is probably why I see like a slow degradation as I get to about an hour. Anyway, yes, thank you, Ben's 310. I very much appreciate the super chat. Do you think NVIDIA will continue to make mining GPUs to maintain their profits with mining customers? They're going to make whatever they think is going to make them money. So if they can make money on mining GPUs, yes. If they find that that miners aren't buying GPUs, then they'll stop making them. I mean, think about it. You had the P103s, I think. You had a lot of mining specific cards, and they went away, and now they're just starting to come back, but now it's not going to be as profitable. So they'll probably stop making them again, would be my guess. So anyway, sorry, Project Sunroof hasn't reached that address yet. Oh well, sorry about that. But it's one of those things. Anytime you talk to a solar sales rep, see what you can get out of them as far as information. Like, okay, what does this look like? How much in the way of panels can you put on my roof? So how much power is that going to provide? Is it going to fulfill all my power needs, or is it only 80%? All those types of things are good to know and will give you a lot of information for when you actually go to buy. So Padwick Miner says, my work colleagues keep interrupting my listening. Now I'll have to listen back. Grr. Yeah, that's Yeah, that's me on the weekends. So I'm trying to catch up on some YouTube, and people keep interrupting me at work. So yeah, and one of the reasons why I do need to cut it at least relatively short is because I have to be up in 6 hours and 15 minutes. Because yes, I will be getting up at 3:30 in the morning. I've been doing that for the last few weeks. But hey, I got the attaboy from the VP today on the conference call, which was nice. Better than a sharp stick in the eye, I guess. But anyway, there are a couple other things that were done, but I won't go into those. But yeah, it was nice. So at least seems like they appreciate it. That's for sure. So anyway, but yeah, the for those of you that heard me last week complaining about work, let's just say this weekend, they've thrown a lot of resources at our site. So we had every forklift in operation on first shift, and that's like not happened today. We had every forklift in operation. So we're getting more resources as far as people, which is helping us to get out of this backlog. And anyway, I can see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel now. Don't know how far it is away. It's too far to actually know that, but we cut a third of our backlog in our yard. So that was a good thing. But anyway, enough of that. But alrighty, guys. Well, without any further questions, oh, Bart says, we need to sign some petition for Xfinity to increase these uploads for us. Yeah, actually, I'm going to go back to full screen as I search. There is actually some work being done on that. Xfinity, increase upload speed, DOCSIS. I think it's 3.1. Or is it 4.0? Let's see. Okay, here actually it's not really that recent. That was in 2021. Let me see if I look at the last year, get something a little bit more recent. Because there is actually a way you can get, I know I can get 3 gig up, 3 gig down. It would only cost me $1,000 up front and $300 a month, just for that small fee. And it's funny, Mining King's not here, but Mining King was like, "Way with max voltage money." No. So, oh, that would be interesting. This is a thing that says, yeah, it's DOCSIS 3.1. So, anyway, yes, they are looking at implementing DOCSIS 3.1. I don't know what the time frame is yet, but it would be cool because then, yeah, uploads would improve significantly. So I think it's maybe a year to 2 years away. I don't know what type of infrastructure investment they need to make. I don't think it's just a modem upgrade or even just an infrastructure upgrade. I think it's a little bit of both. But anyway, I don't know for sure. Something else I'll be looking into because I would really like to have increased upload. No doubt. I'd love to be able to have a node farm downstairs. That'd be a blast. But at any rate, alrighty, guys. I'm sure you guys are talking about my sleep, and then when I don't get sleep, I'm cranky. Yeah. Yes, that is true. That is true. Although I wasn't really cranky today, and I didn't get enough sleep last night. But anyway, alrighty, guys. Well, again, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. And you guys all have a wonderful evening. And I'm going to hang out here so I don't get cut off.